Hello and welcome to the advanced training of setting up your virtual VIP days with Dubsado. I am Jordan Gill, head honcho over at System Saved Me, and we have been in business for 5 years, which is insane and awesome at the same time. And our mission is to help online service providers eliminate the word burnout from their vocabularies. Kind of a big task, but we are so up for the challenge. And how we do that is actually helping online service providers take their monthly retainers and projects and replace them with virtual VIP days. So this is the perfect topic for me to be talking about, and I'm super excited. Let's dive in. All right, here we are. Again, you are in the right place if you are looking to set up your VIP days with Dubsado. But first, we need to define what an actual VIP day is. So what a virtual VIP day is a 4-figure offering. Yes, you read that correctly. It is a 4-figure offering at least. That is the minimum. That lasts 3 to 8 hours within a 24-hour period of time to help clients through a 3 to 5 phase transformation or process. This is my definition. And a lot of the numbers are to help guide you in a measurable way to know when you have actually secured your VIP day framework. Now, if you're curious about who should be doing VIP days, can I even do them as a dog trainer, an author, a relationship coach, a nutritionist, then you're in the right place. These are icons of all the different people that we've had in our program Done in a Day, but really, what types of people who are absolutely qualified and should be doing VIP days, in my personal opinion, are service providers, coaches, and consultants. So we have online business managers, virtual assistants, website designers, we have consultants, we have social media managers, we have speaking coaches, lawyers, infertility specialists, instructional designers, financial coaches, yoga and healing consultants, we have dog trainers, we have copywriters, we have all sorts of folks who I have seen and had the pleasure of working with to create amazing VIP days. And the only company that I share not only inside of my coaching program, but also out to the rooftops is Dubsado. They are such an amazing platform and software that is so supportive and warm and doesn't make, technology or software super techie and robotic. I have always been told that my systems, my processes, my onboarding has felt really warm, inviting, supportive, and clear. And Dubsado is the only tool that I recommend for people who are super serious about offering VIP days and want to have an amazing software with absolute top-notch customer experience. So I'm excited to go ahead and dive on in. Now, there are 2 sequences, I guess, that I'm going to be teaching you inside of Dubsado for VIP days. So the first one is qualifying your VIP day leads. And this is an amazing, honestly underutilized part of Dubsado, but I talk about it all the time because I think it's brilliant. But you can actually automate the qualification process of your leads, right? If you only work with people who have teams, if you only work with people who want their project management build and ClickUp, if you only work with people who have at least $500,000 in revenue, whatever those qualifications are for you, you can have Dubsado sort those people out and only allow the people who are the right fit for you to schedule a call. So I'm going to show you that here in a hot minute. And I'm also going to show you an onboarding sequence inside of Dubsado. And again, this can be done to collect everything that you need in order to be set up for success with your VIP day. So first, we're going to dive into qualifying your leads. So in order to qualify your leads inside of Dubsado, we have to do two things. The first one is creating and embedding a lead capture form. If you have not set this up before, I'm actually going to hop on over to Dubsado and show you inside where it lives so that you know where it is, and walk you through the process of actually creating your lead capture form. And the purpose of it is, again, to gain information. You probably have one on your website or maybe in a type form or something, where if someone's interested in working with you, they can contact you and give you a little bit of information about them. And then it's, usually sent to your email or something. And the benefits of a lead capture form are the qualifying question. And so again, I'm going to go ahead and dive in because it is super helpful to see it actually in action. So I'm going to head on over to Dubsado, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. So when you get into Dubsado, go over to the templates, forms, and click the little plus sign next to lead capture. I'm going to show you my example just for speed. And so you'll want to get their information, which generally is name, email, business name, and website if applicable. And then you're going to have this qualifying question. And this qualifying question means that it is going to qualify, literally, who is a right fit client and who is not. So for example, this one is, do you have a team that consists between 3 and 10? It could be based on revenue. It could be based on the amount of weight that they want to lose. It could be on all sorts of things. And depending on the options, you can have a different outcome happen. So I'm going to go into the workflows and show you how to create those different options. And the first thing you're going to want to think about is, if someone's not a good fit, then what do I want to do with them? And what I encourage you to do is actually send a not a good fit email response that says, thanks for reaching out. At this time, I don't think it's the best fit. However, this may actually be able to help you instead. Send them a $97 course or a list of referrals, whatever. And then if they are a good fit, then you definitely want to send them a yes email that involves sending an appointment scheduler right here. So again, after all previous actions are complete, and then you send the actual scheduler you want them to set up, and then, a body of the email, make it a little friendlier than this, but you get the gist here, and hit apply. And so then from there, once you create those two workflows, then you'll have to come back to the lead capture form, come back to the qualifying question, and make sure you connect the right workflow to the right option. All right, so you have now learned all about the lead capture form, and now we have to go in and actually set up your Dubsado scheduler for your sales calls. I encourage everybody to sell on the phone or through Zoom for your VIP days, because VIP day clients really like to get to know you as a person. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop back in to the Dubsado scheduler and show you how you can create designated days that you take sales calls, and allowing people to schedule when they are most available. All right, when you come into Dubsado to create your appointment scheduler for your consultation or sales calls, then you can come in here, actually name it what you want it to be named. So VIP day consultation call, and then you can pre-select 15, 30, or 60 minutes, or you can do a custom time. I tend to do 20 or 30 minutes, but we can keep it 15 for now. And then when can this appointment be scheduled? And you can determine if it's a rolling day window, fixed date range, or indefinitely. So what I tell folks is to have a rolling day window, which means that it's just week by week. And from there, you can actually choose, like, okay, maybe I only want to, let's see, all Tuesdays. I don't want to take calls on Tuesdays or Mondays. Or Fridays. Oops. So I'm going to remove all of those. So maybe I only take them Wednesdays and Thursdays. And maybe I don't want to take it 9 to 5, but I can change this to, keep it at 9 and have it be until noon my time, right? And so let me move that. Boop. At that time, right? All Wednesdays or only that day. Same thing here. Maybe I do it in the afternoon so that I am hitting other people who can't do the morning sessions. And there you have it. Only booked, show me as busy, so they can kind of take away different, which I love that feature. It'll restrict an appointment to that one time slot. Location, you can actually have this be a typical Zoom link, and maybe it's just a personal meeting. And again, what typical email is for your sessions and discovery calls. Make sure you hit save, and then you're good to go. All right, we have done the 2-part workflow to qualify your leads using Dubsado. So now we're gonna hop into the next sequence, which is all about onboarding your clients. And this is a 4-part sequence, and this is using the workflow feature along with the contract, invoice, scheduling, and questionnaire forms portions of Dubsado. So I'm gonna hop on in and show you how you can set up your contract as the first part of your overall onboarding sequence. All right, when it comes to your contract, then what you're gonna wanna do is go to templates, forms, and then go to, let me show you where it is, go to this area of contracts and hit the plus sign. But I'm going to show you what it looks like quickly. Again, you can add images, you can do all sorts of stuff inside of the contract, and make sure that you gather some information up at the top. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not giving you legal advice. This is just an example of my contract. And then what's also awesome about Dubsado is if you have any sort of refund, rules or other things that people need to pay attention to, make sure that you just have people initial right next to it, because that'll be super helpful if anybody tries to dispute with you. Definitely helpful. And so enter all of your information from your contract, create a client signature, and then also create a signature for you as the other business owner, and click this little blue check mark, and then your contract is ready to go. All right, now that you have your contract all set up inside of Dubsado, then we are going to create your invoice. And this is a really quick step inside of Dubsado, but I also want to remind you that most people want to schedule their VIP day before they even send the contract and the invoice. And really you want to secure the payment and the protection before you actually secure the date. So that is a key tip for you. So I'm going to hop in, show you how to actually set up your invoice in Dubsado. All right, now we are moving into invoices. And so the main thing you want to do is go to templates, payment schedules, and depending, I really encourage people to have a pay in full and then a 50-50. No other payment plans in my personal opinion. So you have to create a payment schedule for each of these. So you'll want to, for pay in full, it's really straightforward. You come in here and name it pay in full, and then come in here and create action. So after the payment schedule is applied to the invoice, they are obviously going to pay 100% of the invoice, and 0 days before the due date. So this is just right away. And 2 days after the due date, you can send them something that says, your payment is past due, et cetera, and then hit apply. Pay in fulls are pretty straightforward. If you want to go to the 50-50 payment schedule, then you'll go to add payment schedule. And for sake of time, I've already created it. You can have 0 days after the payment schedule is applied, 50% of the remaining invoice is due, and you got some reminders created. Same thing, 3 days before project start date, 4 days, whatever your typical need for the service to be taken care of. Then 50% of the remaining invoice, 3 days before, 2 days after the payment is due. You can create reminders really, really easily inside of there. So invoices are really straightforward. You really just create the payment schedules here, and then later on in the workflow, you'll see how they get distributed. All right, now that you've gotten the payment and protection, let's hop into setting up the scheduler to have predetermined dates for you to offer VIP days and allow your clients to pick and choose when they want to actually do the VIP day with you. So go ahead and we're gonna hop back into Dubsado. All right, we are back in the scheduler. Again, going to templates and scheduler. You'll wanna create, I really like having a standardized day or days that you offer VIP days. And so with that, you can, again, name your appointment VIP day, add the custom time, how many hours your VIP day is. Again, rolling day window, which is, again, just super helpful, and allow for maybe Mondays and Tuesdays for your VIP days. Again, once booked, show me as busy. And then again, enter the location if you have a typical Zoom link that you want to use for your VIP days. And then again, this is kind of the schedule your VIP day email that you can create right down below. And the biggest thing is making sure that you have this code inside of your email. So that way it will pull that information or that link in here for them to actually schedule. So click save, and then you are all set. And the last part is sending the pre-work questionnaire. And this is where you, again, the last part of the collection phase where your client needs to spend some time giving you the information that you need in order to offer your VIP day and be set up for success. So I'm going to show you where you can do that over in Dubsado. So when it comes to creating your pre-work questionnaire, you are going to want to go in here and click the plus sign. And that is where you're going to start creating your pre-work questionnaire. But I already created one, so to keep this rocking and rolling. So you can add images like you see here. You have where there's just general information. For me, it's important to get their software lined up so you can kind of create this 2-column scenario. Some calls are, some questions are required. That's where you see the little red asterisk. Some are not. And again, they have an option to upload, which I absolutely love. Dubsado's uploader. It makes my whole life easier. You can ask crucial questions, and then you can also pull in the client's name and other business information if you want it to feel very specific to that client. Name it pre-work questionnaire, and then move on forward. All right, now that you have done all 4 parts and sections of the actual workflow, I'm going to show you how to automate this in its entirety. So I'm going to hop back into Dubsado and finish this bad boy out. All right, so now that we have created all of the pieces, now we must put them together. So you'll need to create 2 different workflows. Again, a workflow for if they plan to pay 50/50 and a workflow if they plan to pay in full. So the 50/50 workflow, they look very similar. I'll show the details so we can get into the nitty-gritty. But once we actually activate the workflow inside of the client's project, then the first thing they're going to do is send your contract, right? And then literally after their contract is signed, you'll want to send the primary invoice. So the very first invoice, right? Because we've chosen the 50/50 payment schedule up above. Then after their scheduled payment is complete, then they get sent the appointment scheduler to schedule their actual day. Then after that appointment is scheduled, then we send to them their pre-work questionnaire. Then, after the project end date. So again, there's some reminders that you can build in here if you want to, for sure. But this is really a straightforward email, typical workflow actions. And then after the day after, you can send an email with the link to the call recording, links to any sort of deliverables that you have for them, etc. And then, 2 days after, if you want to, the project end date, which is the same as the start date, send the form for a testimonial. And then, you can send some additional emails for client experience purposes if you want to. But this is a pretty straightforward workflow. It helps to automate as much as possible while still allowing an approval stage the day after the VIP day for you to get all of the deliverables ready for them to go and be great after. Again, the same thing is basically happening with the pay in full workflow. However, again, because it'll notice the payment schedule, then it will only send 1 email for the primary invoice. It will not send 2. And again, those emails are created in the payment schedule portion of Dubsado. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here inside of the workflow. So that is the main squeeze inside Dubsado, and I can't wait for you to fully enjoy it. Now let's get back to the slides. All right, now that we have a completed, automated, beautiful workflow in Dubsado, and we have not only helped you create the onboarding sequence for your VIP days, but we have also created your actual qualifying workflow. Now it's time for the fun part, in my opinion, of surprising and delighting your clients. It's called a VIP day for a reason. You really want to elevate what is possible with your clients. So some suggestions that I have here are Bonjoro is another tool that you can use. So after they schedule their VIP day, you can have Bonjoro actually remind you to send a personalized welcome video to each new client so that they feel loved, feel supported, don't feel like a number, and you have acknowledged and recognized that they have done the first part of the collection phase. Another thing I have seen done really well is actually using Starbucks. They are not a sponsor, although I'm open to it. This is something you can do for your pre-work questionnaire. If you have a really long pre-work questionnaire, then you can actually add a scannable Starbucks gift card literally inside of the pre-work questionnaire in Dubsado. And you can say, hey, go get yourself a drink, enjoy, and get through this pre-work questionnaire with a little bit of cup of joe or cup of happiness, right? That's what I call it anyway. Next, think about meals. So if you have a VIP day and it lasts 6 to 8 hours, you're probably gonna have to eat once, maybe twice in that time frame. And so think about the meals and how you can actually schedule the food delivery for their VIP day. I do this through DoorDash, but you can use, honestly, a lot of other food delivery apps. And so you can do this again the day before, or you can add this in the pre-work questionnaire of, hey, let me know your food order for the VIP day, and it will be scheduled for our 1 o'clock lunch or whatever. And last but not least is using BoxBox or Greetable to send a parting gift. Those are two companies that I really love. And again, you can just automate the task post VIP day from your Dubsado platform to remind you to send it to the client. You can do this before or after. It can be a welcome gift or a parting gift as well. So I hope that you have learned a thing or 10 through this advanced training. It has been so fun to get to share two of my obsessions, VIP days and Dubsado together. So if you want to learn more or stay connected, the best place to do that is on Instagram at @SystemSavedMe. So send us a DM or review our hundreds of IGTVs at this point and really dive into the idea of VIP days.